"Can you not smell pizza burning?" My daughter yells this to me, and I look up, and sure enough, smoke is curling up from my oven and pooling across the top of my kitchen. I had told her that I would heat up a slice of pizza for her as I was starting an online learning session. But once it started, I was so engrossed in the activities that I was completely oblivious to what was happening around me. I thought I was a really good multitasker. Aren't we all? We've been in online learning sessions for well over a year, going on 2 years now. Why couldn't I multitask? I attribute it to a combination of factors. And the first one would be transparency. Because we were all with our videos on, so it was very clear whether people were engaged or not. There was also the aspect that you could be called on at any moment. And I wanted to make sure I listened attentively because I wanted to give the right answer. And then as I listened to other people, frankly, the conversation was interesting. And I didn't want to miss what they were saying either. Now, the aspect of transparency carried over into the breakouts. And breakouts are not a new concept, but I'm very used to a certain format. It's kind of like this. You'll recognize it. 20 minutes of presentation, conceptual information, 20 minutes of breakouts, and then 20 minutes of readouts at the end. But this was fast paced. We were in and out of the breakouts, 5 minutes maximum, many of them. And then we only had one or two people in a session. So there was nowhere to hide. You have one other person. You don't want to be a no-show. And then I would add to the transparency was the aspect of just impromptu skills practice. We had to present, and you didn't know what your topic was going to be until a moment or two prior. So you could be talking about education. You could be talking about sustainability, travel and transportation. You wouldn't know until a moment or two prior. And then when you got into your breakout, there was also the aspect of with your one other person, you had to listen actively to their presentation so that you could give immediate feedback. And then we would switch. Now, I was delivering a long-term developmental program for senior professionals, and we had an issue with compliance. People were not turning in assignments on time or at all, and it just got really frustrating. And some of the feedback I got at the end, this guy says to me, "Camille, it's not that the program isn't valuable. We see that, and it's interesting, but you have to make us do it." And I did not like that comment at all. I thought, make you do your work. You're a professional. It's not my job. Was I right? Maybe, maybe not. But when I look at the learning environment that I had just come out of, what I just experienced, I think there's a lot to be said for constructing an environment based on transparency and accountability, engaging content, speed. There are a lot of components there that would create a more successful environment, because if in the end we can create that environment, everybody gets what they need to done, then aren't we all more successful? That's what's on my mind these days. How do we make online programs more engaging, riveting, a real pizza burner? That's my new expression. Now, I'm sure you've had interesting experiences as well, best practices that you are thinking through as you reflect on the past year or two. So what would be ideal is after this video concludes, if you would share those on this platform, because I would really like to keep this conversation going.